Hi guys, I hope you are doing great. Welcome to my channel. In this video, which is the first episode of Python tutorial, we're going to learn the syntax of Python and how to make comments and also be familiar with variables. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, don't forget to subscribe it, and if you enjoyed the video and find it useful, don't forget to like it. It will be a great support. Let's begin. Well, as I told you before in previous episode about what is Python and why Python is so popular, and if you don't know actually the uses of Python, and if you want to know more about Python, I highly recommend you to watch my previous episode. Anyway, I told you that Python has simple syntax, but you have to bear in mind that there are some rules that you have to follow in order to be actually successful in Python and run your code without any error. The first one is Python indentation. Indentation actually refers to spaces at the beginning of a code line. Okay, in other programming languages, this indentation is actually more for readability and actually make code more clear and make others understand better. The indentation in Python is really important. Okay, let me give you an example. For example, you want to write a condition. For example, if 4 is greater than 1, I want to print something. For example, print hello world. Okay, and I told you in order to execute this code, you hold shift and hit enter. Okay, this is working, and as you see here, there is some space right here. Okay, and if I delete this space and start my coding from the beginning of the line, and I will face error. Let's run it, and you see here expected an indented block. Okay, so you have to be careful about this space. Actually, you can use as many spaces as you want, it is up to you, but you have to bear in mind that in one block of code, each line must have the same space as previous and next lines. Okay, for example, this one, which has just one line, in if block, I can use as many number of spaces as I want. For example, I can add these spaces, and again it is executable. But if I for example write another line, print hello again, and I want to run this code, as you see here, we face error because the spaces here and here are not equal. Okay, so I have to add spaces to this, and now if I run it, it is executable. Well, now let's talk about comments. Comments can be used to explain Python code or make it more readable, and also it is sometimes used to prevent a block of code from executing. So for example, let me tell you how you can make comments. For example, we have print here hello, and okay, it is running, and I want to add a line to show that this line is for printing. So I use sharp, and whatever I write after sharp is comment. Okay, and it is not executable. This is a comment. Okay, let's run it. You see, this is just hello. Nothing happened and there is no error. And actually you can place this comment wherever you want, and you can use it before the line, and you can use it the same line. For example, I use it at the end of this line. This is still comment, and you can use it the next line. This is still comment. Well, let's talk about variables. Variables are containers for storing data values. Python has no command for declaring a variable, unlike other programming languages like C#, C, or C++. And if you want to actually declare a variable, you just need to assign a value to it, and it will be automatically declared. For example, I write x equal to 8, and then I want to print this And in order to print a variable, you just need to put that variable between these parentheses. And I just need to write X and run the program. This is actually printed. And you can also assign a float or string character to the variables. It doesn't matter what is the type of your data. You just need to assign that value to a variable. For example, I write y equals to, for example, John. Okay. And here I want to write a print, and I put y between these parentheses, and again John is printed right here. Okay, variables do not need to be declared with any particular type, and variables can also change type after they have been set. For example, I write x equal to 4 and I print x. Okay, this is what you see, 4 is printed, and then I want to assign a name to x. For example, I assign John. John is assigned to x, and I want to print it again. Okay, as you see, the type of x even changed, and this is the flexibility of Python. Well, if you want to specify the data type of a variable, this can be done by a casting. For example, I write x equals to str, which is string, and I just write John here, and I want to print x. And now I told x that that value is a string. Okay, you can set the type of data. And how about getting the type of variable? For example, you have a variable like x here, and you don't know the type of x. So how you can know the type of x? You just need to use this command type, and as input you have to give the variable x here, and I want to print it. For example, print, and as you see here, it is a string. And if I for example declare another variable like y equals to int 5, and now I want to print the type of variable, and as you see here, it is integer. Well, when you want to store a string in a variable in, for example, C# or C or C++, we use double quotes, but in Python it is the same as single quote. It doesn't matter whether you use single quotes or double quotes. Both of them are the same. Let me give you an example. For example, x equals to Alex. I write double quotes here, and I want to print this. And here I want to use single quotes and write Alex again. And let me print y to see the value. And here you see it is the same. An important note that you have to bear in mind is that Python is a case-sensitive language. So if you want to declare a variable, you have to bear in mind that all variables are case-sensitive. For example, x equals to 4 and capital X equals to 8. And if I print small x, and if I print capital X, it is 8. When you want to give a variable a name, you have to pay attention to some rules. A variable name must start with a letter or underscore character. A variable must not start with numbers. And as I said, variables are case sensitive, and a variable can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores. For example, my var equals to 8. This is okay, there is no error. But if I say to my var equals to 8, now you see error. This is invalid syntax because it starts with number. This is wrong. And you can also not use any other characters but numbers and underscore. For example, if I use this character and again run this, you see an error. Python has an amazing feature which is assigning multiple values. For example, you want to assign multiple values in one line. This is actually possible in Python. For example, you have x, z, and m equals to 4, 5, and 8. Okay, and if I print each of them, you see all the values are assigned. You see here, they're assigned. You can just assign as much variable as you want in one line. And you can also assign the same value to multiple variables in just one line. For example, I write x equals to z equals to m equals to 7, and I want to print z. Let's use this. And now you see all of them are 7. If you have a collection of values, we will talk about collection, but if you have a collection values in a list, Python allows you to extract the values into variables. For example, I write things equal to, for example, book, car, and for example, watch. Okay, and I want to assign each of these elements to a separate variable. How can I do this? It is the same as this line. You can use this one here, and you just need to give things, and if I print them, you see that each element is assigned to a variable. You see, book, car, and watch are assigned to x, z, and m respectively. Well, in order to print a variable, I showed you how to print. You just need to first declare a variable like x equals to 5 and print x. Okay, and you can also add two variables in print inside print between these two parentheses. For example, I just assign 9 to y, and I want to print y plus x, and this is written. If you want to print string, it is also possible. You can write name equals to, for example, Alex, and I want to print name. Unlike C#, you cannot combine a variable which contains text and a variable which contains a number. For example, I write here print, and I want to say a name plus y, which is a number, and if I run it, you see you cannot concatenate a string and integer. Okay, this is the end of this session. I hope it was useful for you. If you have any question, leave comments. I'll reach you as soon as possible. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, don't forget to subscribe it, and don't forget to like it. It will be a great support. Bye for now.